said it was on to our, as they say, quote, co-main event. This is the real main event to me. The only reason why it wasn't the main event, because the other one had to take place all around the ring. But this was a three-way dance. Triple threat if you're old school. And in my Justin Roberts voice, it was for the All Elite Wrestling World Championship. Man, we had Freshly Squeezed Orange Cassidy. He came out with his crew, the Alien Chris Statlander. You had Trent, you had Chucky T. They came out with my man, made sure he got to the ring. You had the bastard Pac, ready as always to do his thing. Beating Kenny Omega in the first match ever at the first All Out event. And then you had Kenny, by God, Omega, coming to the ring with the visible head dog Callis. Your Triple I Mega Champion. Your TNA World Champion. Your Impact World Champion. And your All Elite Wrestling World Champion. Kenny Omega wakes his way to the ring. Dripped in gold. Don Callis helps him take everything off. It's time for a triple threat match contest. And as soon as the match starts, Kenny tries to get out of there. Pac was on it. Get your ass back in here. We about to have a fight. This was a damn good match. I really don't know how to explain this. This is also one of the best matches of the night. Depending on what you like, there was at least 3-4 matches that could have been the best match of the night. But it depended on your preference. This was a good ass match too. Orange Cassidy showed up. We know what Pac and Kenny Omega can give us. They've already been in the ring before. But at the end, Kenny Omega steals the AEW World Championship from Orange Cassidy, who delivered everything he needed to win this match. He delivered beach break. He delivered a few orange punches, and right when he was about to get the pin from the 1-2-3, Kenny changes it into a roll up, steals the damn title, and runs out of there. He's still the champion. How y'all feel about this match right here?
Awesome match. Probably the best of the night. One of the best of the night. Of course, Omega wasn't gonna lose.
There was no way by God was losing.
Especially not that Orange Cassidy. They kept teasing that Orange Cassidy could win, but
they teased that.
And I'll give the kudos. I'll give the kudos. Some people will say this don't count, but if Don Callis is the only person that came to the ring, this is a win because this was still a triple threat match. Pac got his low blow on Freshly Squeezed. Sure. Don Callis is the only person to come to the ring. I mean, we know what happened at the end with all the belts and stuff, but none of the Good Brothers or the Bucks came out. I give Kenny kudos for that.
But Don Callis still in the face.
Don Callis is a main chief.
He was on commentary and said shit. Not through the mic. Then I don't know where the commentary was. That's probably behind some poker chips somewhere. He took a while to get to the ring, and he pulled the referee out the ring right before the 3 count after the orange punch. And then Kenny did some stuff to Orange Cassidy, got him out the ring. It was just Pac in there. He had Pac with all 4
championships.
All 4.
And they gave some good hits.
And then Aubrey came out because the other referee got knocked out. And she hopped in the ring.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. You know why the other referee got knocked out?
From a hit
because Orange Cassidy was starting to do a beach break on Pac and he reversed it to a brutalizer, took him down, and he was going to pass out. And Kenny Omega was trying to get Pac off him and he couldn't. And it looked like
he was
it looked like Cassidy was going to pass out, so he just attacked the ref before he blew the whistle. But this is a good match. There was so many close moves. There was a point where Pac got a super avalanche Falcon Arrow on Kenny Omega. Cass threw him outside the ring. There was the fan was so excited when he pinned Kenny Omega at that point. That was a kick out. Pac gave us a Black Arrow with a close pinfall with Omega jumping over the damn first rope to save it.
Just to stop it.
There was just so much going on in this match, and they delivered on all counts. They made us believe that there's a chance Orange Cassidy was going to win. They made us believe there was a chance that Pac could win. They gave us a chance to believe that Omega was going to lose. This is just a good match for me. I love this match.
And now we see that the Elite / Bullet Club are really heels on.
They are really heels.
Look how Gallows and Anderson come out there dressed.
Gallows
Nick and Matt coming out there dressed. All this designer stuff. They got
Luke Gallows look like a mutated Juice Robinson.
Nose rings and hats now.
I like the look. I like the look from the Bucks last night. I'm not gonna lie. I like that.
Also, you know how they hails too because they was majority getting booed, and you know how much fans love the Elite.
Right. And not to mention back to the Young Bucks. Which one? Nick had different color hair.
Yeah, Nick had different hair. And contact. Omega just won, so we know in 2 weeks, Jungle Boy gets his shot at Kenny Omega for the All Elite Wrestling Championship on Dynamite. It's gonna be interesting.
Let's go, Jungle Boy.
Hey,
It's gonna be a good match.
I don't mind saying let's go Jungle Boy, but nobody beating Kenny Omega right now.
course
Not
not.
on a Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
And the damn sure wasn't gonna have it a double enough. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children and adults of all ages, our main event. And only it was a main event because it was inside the stadium and it was gonna end everywhere. But it was the feud that's been going on since Blood and Guts. It was the Pinnacle. It was the Inner Circle. They were going up against the second annual Stadium Stampede. Stadium Stampede. And before I get to this, I want to give a kudos to AEW because I feel like this might be one of those things that makes you notice who AEW is. The Spring Stampede, this is their own little staple match that they created, and I feel like it should be start to be an annual thing. Not have to be every double or nothing, but every year it should be a Stadium Stampede between some group. Y'all have enough groups, but it don't always got to be 5-on-5. It could be a 4-on-4. But this one was a little bit more important because if the Inner Circle didn't win this match, they were going to be forced to break up. There was going to be no more Inner Circle. So you had the Pinnacle, Maxwell Jacob Freeman, MJF, the Chairman Sean Spears, Dax Hardwood, Dash Wilder, Wardlow, and the legend Tully Blanchard. The Pinnacle. They went up against the original Inner Circle of the Demogod, Le Chamion, Chris Jericho, and his guy, the Spanish God, Sammy Guevara, along with the Big Hurt, Jake Hager, and proud and powerful Santana and Ortiz. And they had a surprise from their former LAX guy. Conan was in the building in this match, and he helped out. But let's start the match off. We had the Pinnacle coming to the ring, as we thought, in a limo. But the only person got off the limo was damn MJF talking shit. Next thing you know, from all the way up over top of the scoreboard at TIAA Stadium, you had the Inner Circle coming down, ziplining. Looked like they got stuck, but I guess they got something down. You can tell that was pre-recorded. The fire coming down at different intervals. The Inner Circle was in the building. They was coming at the MJF. And then out of nowhere, a pickup truck comes out of the corner. It's Dash Wilder, it's Dax Hardwood, it's the rest of the Pinnacle, and now the match is on. MJF runs his ass and jumps back in the car. Everybody else is fighting. Spears and Sammy wait their way to the ring in the middle. Proud, powerful, and FTR, they're fighting in the stands. Wardlow, Jake Hager, they're in the back. The whole time they're showing all these different parts, everybody gets some good work in. Then MJF finally decides to hop out the limo. Jericho's waiting for him. They're fighting. Jericho like he's about to put him in the back of the trunk. MJF gets him with the fire extinguisher. He runs off, and now we're off to a good show. This way, they separated all these things into different segments, and we started with MJF and Jericho in the back, where they would get snacks at or food where the office is at. Yeah, they knocked out all the food, hitting them with venomous things. Jericho hitting them with trash cans to the point they went into Jacksonville Jaguar head coach Urban Meyer's office with Charlie Strong. And they passing them footballs, hitting them with helmets, telling them good season and everything. How y'all feel about this so far? What's going on?
Felt like it was good. To start off, I know they at least did a little bit in the stadium.
A little bit.
In the ring in the stadium with Sammy and Sean Spears. But then when MJF ran to the back,
then he put him in a wheelchair. He flipped over on a table.
Onto the table.
But we switched over to Jake Hager and Wardlow fighting by the freezer box and stuff. They was going at it. Wardlow tried to shut Hager in the ice box. He stopped it, came back out. They started fighting between sliced butcher pigs and throwing each other on ground beef and shit.
Wardlow got the best of that exchange. Then he switched to
Sammy, and that's when he found Spears sitting in his little chair.
Sammy was walking around looking. You just heard the chair noise. Sammy. And then they showed like a whole,
like it was a movie
like
or something.
But Sean Spears is in the middle,
surrounded by
chairs, surrounded.
The lights changed.
Yeah, and the lights cut off. Surrounded
at least 100
chairs.
They had a good back and forth little movie scene right there, trying to hit each other with the chairs.
Spears handcuffed them.
Handcuffed them. After that little spot, they went to another spot.
Wait, before the handcuff,
he threw some bolt cutters somewhere, so they went into that area and started fighting.
We cut back to MJF and Jericho in an office, and we finally got a pinfall. And he was upset. He said, "You want to kick out Jericho? Huh?" He did some kind of move when Jericho was coming to him. It was like a punch.
Yeah, he leaped off. It was like leaped off something in the office. Before they went to the office, the cardboard cutout. Tony Khan.
Oh, Shad Khan.
Yeah, and he hit it, and Jericho was like, "Don't do that." And then he hit.
Then he hit him and says,
"Started going like this to the poster board." I was like, yeah.
So then, after MJF got mad that Jericho kicked out, he picks up a hammer, puts his arm on the table as if he's gonna hit him. He hopped back, and Jericho smacked his ass with a trash can. Looks behind him, opened up a door, and what's there? Floyd the Bat, and he smacked the shit out of MJF with that bat.
Jericho perfectly set that. He knew they were going to that round.
He
just set up.
Jericho knew exactly what he was doing.
And one of them got, I think JK just suplexed him down onto the thing.
Into the back of the truck.
Yeah. The back
it
of
was
it. It was
some
color
kind of
wood and stuff
thing,
around it.
But then they kept going around. They got back up. And Waldo spared Jake Hager through the wall. He was like, "Walk into the kitchen. We're in the kitchen now."
We're in the kitchen now.
Yeah.
And after that, we cut to like a little restaurant bar scene where Santana and Ortiz was walking to the bar, and it was just people, just fans, just spectators sitting there, and then they look across and they say, "We still breathing.
That's
we
what
ain't
Ortiz
dead yet."
said.
And that's when you see Tully, Dash, and Dash just standing there like, "Fuck." Next thing you know, these 5 people just start punching any innocent bystander wrestlers that's just there and start throwing them across tables and hitting them and all this until they meet up at one table and Tully grabs some glasses that's already pre-filled. And these motherfuckers do toast with each other and take shots. And then start punching each other and fucking each other up.
At least they toasted to each other.
And then right after the toast, they look over at the DJ who's Conan. He puts a song on for the match to start for them, and they just all start gutting it out. This was getting good. How y'all feel about what's going on in here?
I love it. Love Stand By Man Coolin. This was a funny part because Tully came in and tried to get one of them, and Coolin stopped him.
He stopped him
from hitting him. Then they pushed him on the ground. Then one of them did something to Tully, put something on his head, scraped his head.
Just loved all the action. Good action and funnies.
Now after this, we got some random shit happening. We see the chairman just walking like, "Hey, Yas, where you at?" And then he turns around and there's 3 big ass motorcycles just revving up coming toward him. So he just start running, and he runs to some random run. Now, a couple minutes later, they show him looking at the Daly's place like, "Yes, I'm free." And then he turns to his left and sees a golf cart coming at him, and it's Sammy Guevara, who comes all the way down and smacks the fuck out of him with a golf cart. He start rolling. Now, at the same time, Jericho and MJF they made their way back into the stadium, and they up top, and like some of the bleachers up top, they fighting. Jericho picks up a damn big ass camera light, hits MJF with it, getting like a little suplex
them through some
kind of thing. It was like some kind of cardboard table that was perfectly over top of the space where the chairs was at. Come on, baby. And then Jericho just started hyping the crowd up. At that time, we never really seen fucking Santana or Ortiz and none of them again. It was all focused, and I was surprised. We had Sammy and Sean Spears actually make their way to the ring, and they had their own little 5-10 minute one-on-one call test, but Sean Spears hit the shit out of Sammy in the shoulder because Sammy blocked. And he kicked out, and I'm surprised. I thought they might win after that. He also got his revenge on the chairman by pushing his head into the chair while I was in the corner.
It's like, no, talk down me.
Yeah. Gave us a 630. And to my surprise, Sammy Guevara is the one that gets the 3. The inner circle is still here. And will I tell you, they celebrated the way all full capacity live AEW show could. With Judas on My Mind blasting, the fans loving it. Jericho saying one more time, "Let's go around, let's get it." They hyping the crowd up, they excited. It went up there perfectly. Guys, what was your overall thoughts? A stadium stampede.
Pretty damn good. It wasn't as good as the first one, but this one was different in its own way of highlighting all the different people in different segments. And
I like that.
I like the fact that they did do that with Sammy and Sean Spears.
They could have easily had MJF and Jericho.
And I took the focus away from them.
And now that's where I give them kudos because they got me. I felt like, all right, they showing a lot MJF Jericho. These motherfuckers got a whole 10-minute segment.
That's why.
And then when they kept switching, I was like, all right, they can everybody else their bump so Jericho and MJF can finish. But that's not what happened. And I was
I like that Sean Spears got the shine. And to me, is paybacks for Sammy Guevara. Because the whole thing started with the inner circle.
Yep.
Because remember, I told y'all last year, I was like, the inner circle going to get messed up in 2021. Because something going to happen with this MJF stuff. And this is payback for Sammy from MJF almost making him leave the group.
Mm-hmm.
And then once he left, a couple weeks later, MJF turned on him. Then
Still
formed the
his own
Pinnacle.
group.
So with Sammy coming back and him getting a win to
Him
save
get the win
the
to
group,
solidify them as a group.
that's what I like. I think that was great.
That it made all the stuff they done been through over the 2 years show that the inner circle, like they can get through controversy and struggles and people can stay around. Unlike other companies who break people for no fucking reason. Like this was good to see that somebody other than a leader can also stand out and everybody can look good and they think. Guys, how did y'all feel about the total All Elite Wrestling Double or Nothing in 2021?
That's the best pay-per-view of the year.
Best pay-per-view of the year. And if it holds up, unless AEW are going to outdo themselves, there's no way any other company, Impact, WWE, Ring of Honor, are outdoing that Double or Nothing. The only people who outdo them are themselves, and that's AEW. They still got 2 more pay-per-views. They still got Full Gear. They still got All Out. But right now, Double or Nothing. Best pay-per-view of the year. Like I said earlier, the only match that didn't deliver the way it should have was Anthony Ogogo versus Cody Rhodes. In my opinion, there were at least 4 matches of the night with the triple threat for the World Championship, the Tag Team Championships with Moxie, Kingston and the Young Bucks, Sheeta and Britt Baker DMD, Brian Cage and Adam Page. Like even Sting, Darby Allin in that tag match was good.
Yeah, it was.
And the Sting and Stampede speaks for itself. Now, if you want to, even the buy-in match, the buy-in match was excellent.
Yeah.
If you want to nitpick about a Casino Battle Royal, sure. People like to get mad at Cody for no reason, but you can't really get mad at the Casino Battle Royal because they delivered to the fans who the fans wanted to win. They didn't give them the predictable old guy coming back for a title shot, Christian. He lost, and then Christian still gave his respect. So it was just a whole new feel, and I loved it. Yeah. Grades, as Tom said, we're going to do a new rating system. We're not going to give y'all grades anymore. Fuck that shit. Let us. We're going to do our 1 through 10 rating system.
One thing for the grades, don't forget, AEW coming with a new show.
AEW Fridays
at 10 o'clock.
With
Guess who
Mark
shows up? Mark Henry.
The world's strongest man, Mark Henry.
Mark Henry is
the host, one of the co-hosts of Rampage. You know that he took that legend deal away, but ain't nothing you can do once you get that Hall of Fame. They can't take that away from you. So do what you want out of that. Proud of you, Mark Henry. Everybody talking about AEW be getting all the WWE old people. No, they getting people that can still produce, that can still bring eyes to their product. Y'all hate while they bringing in fans.
And first of all, what else are they going to do? Do you know how many wrestlers travel to different companies?
Yes.
Right. These wrestlers in their 30s. Some be young, but most of them in their late 30s or early 30s.
A lot of these wrestlers that know each other and train with each other, and then they only got isolated because WWE don't want them to work with other companies. That don't mean they still not friends outside of stuff.
Exactly.
You think when people have an issue with WWE, they ain't always got somebody in their back pocket calling them like, man, you don't need to work for them no more.
That's true.
But what's y'all grades, guys?
I say a 9.1. That's why I say
9.
That's why I say a 9.1. Because as Deez was saying there, we all said it's the best pay-per-view of the year. And action-wise, it was great. Every match was a great match. You can nitpick, like you said, the Cody and the Go-Go match or the Casino Battle Royal. But the only reason I give it a 9.1 because I hate when motherfuckers cheat. It was at least 5 matches where it was some type of distraction.
And he's right. As we start from the first match with Brian Cage and Adam Page. Let's not forget the Murder Hawk Monster and Nero with Jake the Snake.
I think the first 4 matches had some type of distraction. And then like another match. And then also the fact that Omega went from a roll-up man.
Yeah.
With Dog Cabbage cheating.
Not wrong with that.
But I give it a 9.1 out of 10.
That was a surprise. See, sometimes I like that. I would always like to see the finisher. But sometimes when you don't win with your finisher, I know you were surprised when that roll up and win. It was a surprise.
But the action, I loved all the action.
I love always saying people finishes, but you don't need to win from your finisher every time. That make it predictable.
But a roll up?
winning from your finisher every time makes it.
I know.
I have no problem with Telps. I'm gonna give you my nails. I give it a 9.7 out of 10. This is almost a perfect pay-per-view for me. Like I said, the only thing that messed it up for me was Anthony the Go-Ho should have been better.
Yeah.
I don't mind the cheating because as a heel, most heels cheat. But this was the versified cheating. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the first match with Brian Cage and Page. There was an interference, but Cage didn't want that interference.
Yeah, that's another. He didn't need that.
So that was an interference that wasn't blatant because he didn't want it. We get to the next match of the Young Bucks and them. There was cheating on both sides because not only did Gallows and Anderson intervene, but then Cass had to come in and save them, as well as them having Brandon Cutler out there as well. So there was different versions of cheats where when you're a heel, I understand that you're going to cheat sometime. I understand it. Like Matt Hardy. The only reason why I'm not giving a perfect 10 because that's my big thing. I don't like that Matt Hardy and the Private Party was going all that extra shit and the Battle Royal. And I also don't mind that Jungle Boy won. Again, the other cheating. The cheating as far as Kenny Omega. That I feel like I hate the roll-up pin more than I hate that he hit Pac with 4 belts. Because that was a triple threat. That's part of the match. But there was no reason for Don Callis to say, shit, throw the mic and then come down there. And then after all of that, you won from a roll-up pin after hitting that motherfucker with 4 belts. The only way you won was still a roll-up. So I still don't understand from top way. So what about you, Ryan?
I give it 9 out of 10.
Alright.
Y'all already explained this stuff.
No doubt.
It's not 10 out of 10.
I really enjoyed this. I feel like I enjoyed this more because I be so busy with kids and work and stuff that I don't get to watch a lot of AEW live anymore. But I was excited for this and I tuned in. I watched every match to the TV. We didn't watch it live. You know, it's a holiday. We got family stuff going on. You know, some of y'all ain't got no friends. That's why y'all be talking about y'all loners and only people want to me fuck with y'all. But we got family and friends that love us. So we didn't watch this live. We watched this late last night. Recording now on Monday. But love the pay-per-view of the year. Y'all guys got anything else?
Either way, all our scores are at least 9. And that was definitely at least a 9
it's at least a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Guys,
keep it going.
hope y'all enjoyed AEW Double or Nothing. Don't forget, because of the NBA playoffs, Dynamite comes on Friday at 10 again. But we're pretty sure it's going to be a good aftermath from AEW Double or Nothing. Don't know what they got next. You know, it should be a special for AEW coming up next. Could be Fight for the Fallen, could be Fighter Fest. But we know our next pay-per-view from Chicago, All Out, September 5th. We also have Full Gear, which is usually supposed to be in Baltimore for us. They gave it to St. Louis in November. We see how that goes. But All Out, the next pay-per-view, guys. I feel like we might want to go to Chicago. Our only time in Chicago was in the airport, so
short hour or two.
So we're gonna see what it do. But guys, from Diesel D, Talp, and They Don't Want None, this is our review of All Elite Wrestling's best pay-per-view of the year, Double or Nothing.
Keep it rolling.
We're gonna keep it rolling. There's more stuff on the way. Y'all heard what we said.
Yes, sir.
And we out of here. As Darren would like to say, here I go!